Hi, all the Vandeventer Place fan. I'm Johnny here, and want to explore about old Vandeventer Place. I do a lot of research on this place, and I've been obsessed with Vandeventer Place for a long time, and don't have a better time to do that than right now on this COVID-19 lockdown. That I have time to do more research and get together on information, and that's what I want to share with everybody that interested in Vandeventer Place, the old Vandeventer Place. I'm not talking about a nursing home. Okay, so Vandeventer Place, that I can find information, um, had been set up erected in 1870 by three gentlemen named Charles Peck, Napoleon Mulligan, and John McCune. Okay, of the old plot of land that owned by Peter Vandeventer Place, who died in 1863. So in 1870, they just subdivide all this plot and sell it and have these restriction in place to make sure they have a prominent mansion, such as the rule as you got to be set back the building setback line got to be 30 feet from the curb, and the front step have to be scrubbed 2 times a week. Those either granite step, I think, and on the window have to be 3 set of curtain. Okay, and any man walk there had not roll their sleeve. Can you believe that? You cannot even roll your sleeve walking on the old Vandeventer Place because of this restriction. So this is the extra uh, grand mansion. Okay, so the restriction of the Vandeventer Place is, stand for 79 year and expired, and the place fall into almost a disrepair in after World War II. And matter of fact, the old Vandeventer Place already start to decline in the 20s when the city of St. Louis encroached upon it. Have more factory on Grand Avenue. North Grand have all the factory, all the industry, so all the smoke from the car, from the factories, engulf the whole city. So all those rich and prominent people not gonna withstand that, so they move out and either go move to the nearby Westmoreland, Portland Place, or even Ladue or Clayton. Okay, and so left this the old mansion to be succumbed in a situation that neighborhoods faced at that time. Okay, so Vandeventer Place divide into section. Okay, the eastern half and the western half. On the eastern half, consists of probably about 47 mansion. Okay, and It been raised in 1950 to make way for John D. Cochran's Veteran Hospital that we know right now. And on the west side, stand another 8 years and been demolished again. Follow in 1958. This time to make way for the juvenile detention home. Okay. In my opinion, they have many other places, many other choice toward the north of Grand. Why don't they have to choose here? That's very unfortunate. Okay, very unfortunate. This is a national treasure of the architecture and material that we have here. Okay, the whole plot is layout designed by a notable land surveyor, Julius Pittman, and he designed many other private places in St. Louis area, such as Portland Place, Westmoreland Place, I don't know, Warden Place, and Washington Terrace, I think. Okay, so President Grover Cleveland used to come here. Okay, and many notable people, notable citizens, prominent citizens used to live here. All of them. I mean, you will not be a big wig, you can't live here. You know, this is an exclusive street. Okay, a governor of Missouri, and St. Louis people, rich people used to live here. So what we have here, this is Grand, and this is cut in the middle by Spring, and on the western side is Vandeventer Avenue. And on the lower here, on the side street, I shouldn't call side street because it's not that small street. It's an Enright Avenue that we know right now. Back in the day, they call Hogan Avenue. Okay, and on the north side, being flanked by the Bell Avenue. Okay, so on the Vandeventer Place, it's so exclusive that these restrictions say you have to build a servant house right across the street. Okay, so all this used to be a servant house on Enright Avenue and on the Bell Avenue. Okay, and a matter of fact, today I just found one thing that made me very, very happy, because we used to believe that only two remnants of Vandeventer Place is a fountain, you know, the west side fountain, a Swan fountain that right now stand at the Shaw Place, and the second is a western gate, a Moore Garden gate that stand in Forest Park. Well, I found one more thing today. This. If you go to Google Earth, this is probably the address 3815 Bell Avenue. I believe this used to be one of the carriage house of the Vandeventer Place. Why? Why make me say that? Because I found this article right here. And you know what? Even I don't see that article, I'm for decades have been speculated that this has got to be a part of old Vandeventer Place, because the geography, the way it's set up and everything, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so it's like today I found that in the old St. Louis Port Dispatch column from the about 1950, all stable open onto Bell on the north and Hogan now and right on the south. Okay. Residents of those streets didn't like too much, and most of the people on the Enright side moved away. On Bell, residents turned the rear of the home into the front and created Windsor Place. So this has got to be one of the carriers of the whole Vandeventer Place, I believe. Okay, but don't take my word for it. But I do believe so. Okay, so we should have like a three remnant of the Vandeventer Place. Okay, the fountain, the gate, and this carriage house probably belong to the either number 51 or 53 or even 55, who knows. Okay, so let's see what we got here. The early on Vandeventer Place even got demolished in number 43, demolished in 1902, is a Edmund Wickham mansion. That's why it's contrary to the belief that Vandeventer Place is consists of 86 mansion. But the last mention is number 87, so probably because of this, number 43 is missing, so they call it 86 mansion. So even the last one got demolished in 1937. Along together, not too far from each other, is number 40, Henry Clay Pierce Mansion at number 40, either been demolished in 1936 or 1938. That's a great loss. That's one of the biggest mansion there. Okay, so let's go to this is a Google Earth that I found. That garage is right there. Okay, that building right there. And the Vandeventer Place is Spring in the corner right there. Is what it look right now is a detention home, hospital. Okay. Vandeventer Place, if you go to the map around Google Map, you can see that this part right here had been like a cut off on a curve. It's not like a rectangular like this, but even cut off like this. Well, because I don't know, I think in the 20s, the streetcar line of St. Louis have to make a turn right here, and then they don't have enough space, so they have to cut to the Vandeventer Place. That's the first indication of the the downfall of Vandeventer Place. If we can think of that way. So if we now go to the map, we can see this one right here is a curve, because it used to be a streetcar rail right here. Okay, and that still look like that today. Okay, but at the beginning it doesn't look like that. It used to be like a all rectangular sharp edge. Okay, let's go look at all the mansion so we can appreciate what they look like. Okay, I have all this picture that I've been downloaded from, mostly from Pinterest and from other sources as well. Okay, you get so many pictures that from my bedroom all the way to my living room. Okay, so we're gonna pretend that this is a Vandeventer Place. Let's pretend that imaginary park strip right in the middle, and that is the Vandeventer Avenue. Okay, this is this is the western side, and this has been cut in the middle by Spring Avenue. This is a yellow ruler is a Spring Avenue, and this is the western side, and that is the Grand. Okay, so let's go start from the Grand. Okay, so this is Grand Boulevard, not Grand, not in that way. Okay, and the gate would be right here. Okay, the first three mansions on the Vandeventer Place is number 7 and number 4. I think it's number 4, but I can't find information on it. On Napoleon Mulliken Mansion, I don't know, is it number 4 or number 6? I'm not sure, but let think of it as either number 2 or number 4. Okay, so that Napoleon Mulliken and Charles Peck Mansion, they're built about the same time. I think it's about the same year. Okay, even the architecture itself looked very almost identical. Have a mansard roof. Both of them had mansard roof in the Second Empire architect. See that, or swan fountain. Okay, so let's move on to the next. It's number 11. Number 11 is Samuel Cole. It's the third mansion to build on Vandeventer Place. It's beautiful, and it's a white limestone. Is it? Yeah, something like that. Building. You can see that kind of architecture in the Westmoreland Place or Portland Place now. Okay, the next up is number 12, David Francis. David Francis is a notable prominent citizen. I can't remember what he does, but anyway, I can't find his picture, his mansion picture anywhere. So hopefully in the future I can. Okay, so the even number is on the south side and the odd number on the top. Okay, so right next is number 17. Number 17 is John Scudder House or Watson Farr. I'm not sure. Okay, that's a beautiful house. I heard the story that either John Scudder or Watson Farr, one of these two guys. I don't know who's the actual owner, because my research is a contradict each other. I heard that when he built the foundation, you see that white stone foundation, and he stopped. He just kicked the old builder out and hired another architecture and built from that foundation up in a different style, but they use the same foundation. Wow, interesting, huh? Okay, on this space right here, I can't find any information at all. Okay, so let's move on to the next. Is number 21 on the north side. Number 21 is belong to Henry Newman. Henry Newman Mansion. Look at that. It's about as big as Henry Clay Pierce Mansion on the numbers 40. It's a big gigantic mansion. Henry Newman. Okay, move to the next. Is on the north side is a number 25. Number 25 is a John Orrick Mansion. The real Victorian style mansion. Okay. So from John Orrick Mansion is here come one of the most notable mansion of the whole street, built in Richardsonian Romanesque by Henry Jacobson Richardson. Number 27, Lionberger. Okay, John Lionberger house. Okay, he have another similar kind of building on further to the St. Louis. I think it's on what street is that? Yeah, I forgot, but right across from the that the tall building on Grand, that life insurance building on Grand. Okay, very similar kind of building, but that porch, luckily they just tear it down and move to the one of the mansion in Westmoreland Place, so that porch is still there today. But wow, that is like a very fortress. Like I really like Richardsonian Romanesque architecture. Really do. Okay, there are some buildings just look like this in Chicago. Okay, bigger one though. But this one is residential. Okay. So, okay, go across the park in the middle. So we got number 26. Okay, number 26 is Edward Malin-Clark. Edward Malin-Clark is a very wealthy gentleman and a very prominent citizen. He's even a contributor to the Washington University. I think they have one of the buildings that named after him, if I'm not mistaken. So Edward Malin-Clark is like, whoo, creme de la creme of the people. It's almost like John D. Rockefeller of St. Louis, I would say. Okay, and later he's one of the early people to move out of because of a smoke encroaching from the city of St. Louis. So he built another mansion in Westmoreland Place. I think in 1912, maybe I'm not mistaken. Okay, so the next one is on the north side, the number 30. Was it number 33? Look at that. It's the Whitestone Mansion. Number 33 is Thomas Howard Mansion. Okay, if you want to know who he is, it's you can go research. Okay, across the street. This is not exactly supposed to be, but very close. Okay. Okay, number 28 on the south side is Edmund Wickham. Okay, Edmund Wickham Mansion. And across the street is number 35 is H.I. Drummond. Look at that. You can see this house. You can see his house. It's right there. You see that slant roof right here, and you can just see it, slant roof right there. So these two houses are right next together. Okay, and number 32 across the street from that is Mitchell Scott, which is I cannot find any picture from that. Right next to it, and number 36. Okay, number 36. It's R.C. Cochran. R.C. Cochran is he used to own a railroad company, and he even be an ambassador to some country in Europe. So he's a guy. Okay, one of the guy anyway. So let's go to the north at some mansion right here. I don't know. Okay, number 37. Okay, 37 is a huge Crawford house. Look at that, beautiful house, huh? With the concrete structural front. I can still find this kind of building in the north side of St. Louis today. Okay, and ready? One of the grandest mansion of the Vandeventer Place. Number 40, Henry Clay Pierce Mansion. Used to be president of Walter Pierce oil company. Later spent some time in jail after a scandal, and he built an elaborate mausoleum in Cochran Cemetery in the North St. Louis. Yeah. I don't know, is Cochran or another right next to it, but he made a big mausoleum. Even before he died, he built that mausoleum for him and his family. So this is a Richardsonian Romanesque architecture as always. Look at all the granite. This thing is like built to last. It's too bad it's got demolished in about late 30s. It's the side of the house. Look at that. I heard that on the top it's like a big ballroom, like you can put 100 people in there. Okay, that's a drawing from the architect. And this, when it got demolished. This old mansion at 40 Vandeventer Place, built in 1886 at the reported cost of $800,000, which is today like tens of millions of dollars, by the late Henry K. Pierce, financier and oil magnate, fell under the blows at the wrecking crew 2 months ago. That's disheartening to see that. Okay, so let's move on. Number 41 on the north side belong to the Charles Clark. Want to know who Charles Clark is? Just you can do some research. Okay, at the Missouri Society Museum, Missouri Historical Society can provide all the information of all these notable people just that used in this mansion. Number 43 Edmund Wickham. I don't know who it is, cannot find the picture, but they state that number 43 is a mention of the Edmund Wickham. Okay, now we come to the last house of the first half, on the eastern half, which on the north side is the number 47 mansion. Look at how big it is. Number 47 is George Barnett. Okay, George Barnett, I heard he's a big notable person. And across that, on the corner of the spring in Vandeventer Place here is number 46. Number 46 is Joseph Chapman. Okay. Now we're gonna cross the street, spring, to the western half of the mansion. We start from number 49, which is Isaac Morton. Isaac Morton. I heard the long story about this mansion. It's so complicated, but yeah, you can see the mansion right next to it on the picture, which is number 51. See that? See that? That one right there. Very close to number 51. So number 49, across the street from that, it's George Silas Bent. Okay, at number 48. Okay, Silas Bent, and later belonged to his wife, I think. So that's a corner. You can see that it is on a corner. See that? The curve. So it is a corner. See, corner. Okay, so to go to the cross the street from the north side, which is one of the another notable mansion. Prominent mansion on Vandeventer Place is number 51. 51 it belonged to John Davis. I don't know, John Davis is I forgot what he does, but yeah, some big thing again. All of these people doing that in the modern world is the shit of the people, you know, like big. So on the John Davis mansion, it's look like another fortress. You see that fortress on the left hand side here. I think it's a 12 or 14 sided. I've counted it, but I'm not sure, either 12 or 14 sided, and it's slant. It's not. You can see how tilt it is. So that tower, it's slant, just like a real tower. Beautiful. Okay, across the street from that is the number 50 John Shipley. Can't find any picture. Okay, and right next to 51 is the number 59. Oh, is it? Maybe 53, but I can't find information. Oh, wait a minute, not 59. That number 53. So 51, that's right. This has got to be right next to it. Oh, yeah. You see that? See that window right here? the window right there. So yeah, it is right next to each other. Number 59, number 59. I mean 53. Man, I always say 59. Yeah, it look like number 9 from far away. Or number 53. Number 53 belonged to the David Walker. Okay. And across the street, blank, I don't know who. Number 54, Henry Hitchcock. Okay, can't find any information on that. Right next to that is a number, right on the top is a number 55. Number 55 is the James Sylvester Mansion. James Sylvester Mansion. Wow, look at that. Look at that. You see his porch. His porch still shown on the number 53. That porch right there. Okay, and on the south side, across from that, is the number 56. That's a beautiful. Look at that lake. I like that. I like the way they play with the arch right there. Look at Bulldog Lake on the front here. Okay, number 56 is Horatio David. Okay. Up to the north is 61 Robert Moore. Next to Robert Moore is number 63. Number 63 is Smith Galt. G-A-L-T. Smith Galt. Okay, and across the street from Smith Galt is probably number 60. Number 60 is Ethan Hitchcock. Okay, I don't know if this is related to Alfred Hitchcock or not. It's a joke. Okay, number 67. Wow, look at how big that gigantic mansion here. Number 67 is Assad Wallace Mansion. Assad, S-A-S-A, Assad Wallace. Okay. Across from that is 64. 64 is H.C. Scott Mansion. And next to Assad is number 71. 71 is Otto Mersman. Otto Mersman. Across from that, number 68. 68 is Samuel Scott. Let's go to the north again. It's what's that? Number 75. Okay, number 75 is Charles Scudder. Charles Scudder Mansion. And on the south is number 70. Number 70 is what's that? John E. Love. Either John E. Love or Edward Kimbrough. Not sure. One of these two gentlemen, because even the source is not. It's contradict each other. Okay. And on the north side is toward the end of the Vandeventer Place. It's a 79. Holy mackerel! Look at that. How big it is. 79. It's a Thomas Needling House. Thomas Needling House or something like that. Man. Mumbo jumbo. Big mansion. That's another Romanesque architecture on the window. Okay, number across that is number 72, Dexter Tiffany. Look like a church to me at the side entrance. Very interesting though. Dexter Tiffany. Okay. And then number 83. Number 83 is Byron Hobart. Byron Hobart. Okay. This kind of architecture is all over North St. Louis right now too. Okay. And on the south side from that is number 80. Number 80 is William Tyler. And William Tyler, he bought a side lot. So he probably owned 80 or 79 and 81 as well. Okay. And come to the last house, which is 87. This one demolished in 1937. This is when it was intact. When it was intact. This is right before it got demolished. Look at the roof already caved in. Oh my goodness, the window is gone. Even in the late 30s already declined. Oh my God. Look at that on the corner there. That's on he sit on the corner of the Vandeventer Avenue. Okay. Which is later probably the land acquired by number 83, who knows. Okay. And across from that is number 86. Number 86 on the corner of Vandeventer Avenue is Charles B. Smith. Okay. Look at that house. Okay. Can't find information on that house. So is it 180? Not sure. Okay, that's Charles B. Smith. Either that or W.G. Moore. Who knows which one of this guy. But so this at the end, this is the western west gate. I mean, west gate of the Vandeventer. There's an east gate that way. Okay, so there we have it, Vandeventer Place. After many years of obsession, I have fulfilled my dream to gather information on it. Hope everyone enjoy, and now I'm happy that I do this. Okay. Thank you very much for watching, and if I find out everything more about Vandeventer Place, I will put more on the YouTube. Thank you very much.